The seed of a tree will still grow into a tree, just like every seed of a tree. But the question is, will it grow into a healthy tree that bears good fruit? Or will it grow into a tree that is rotten and bears no fruit at all? Or maybe they do grow into a tree that bears fruit, but is that fruit good or is it bad fruit? Similarly to humans, depending on our environment as we grow up, every baby will grow into a person, they will grow old. But depending on their environment, will they grow into a good person or will they grow into a bad person? Because of this, everything is in the little things that you make of yourself. So, a few days ago, or rather a few weeks ago, I started having the desire to actually exercise and be active because I wanted to lose weight. I also had a second goal, which is to become a healthier version of myself because I am a type 1 diabetic, and I wanted to, get more in shape and also control my blood sugars more. And because of this, I had the idea to jump rope. And when I started to jump rope, I realized that it's actually fun. Not because I had the idea of wanting to lose weight, but because I started to see the bigger picture. I started to ask myself where I am at the moment and how I am doing. So in this case, I can jump rope at around less than 5 minutes, but my ideal time is 10 minutes. So then, without thinking of this goal, even though that is where we all started, I started thinking about the smaller goal. So in this case, it's I want to start jumping rope without difficulty and for a more prolonged period. Yes. Just like in math, you have to build a foundation. You have to have a stable blueprint because you can't do algebra if you can't do arithmetics. If we have a goal, we need to break it down into pieces. And I'm not saying that you should be ignorant and ignore your other priorities, but if we take a goal and there's just a lot of things to do before we get to that goal, you have to keep in mind that you have to be patient, just like a tree. A tree doesn't just grow overnight, it grows maybe months or years or something like that. So, right now, my current goal, despite having the goal of wanting to lose weight primarily, we also have to take into consideration the other goals that maybe kind of overlap. So, in this case, I want to be healthier and I want to keep my body active. These two goals can overlap. Now, how do we make the thought of this goal easier? Well, I just said that I started asking myself how I'm doing. So, my ideal again is 10 minutes, and I'm currently at 5 minutes. So, now we have the new goal of I want to start by building my capacity to jump rope more. So now this becomes our new goal. It's like in a video game, like they have the objectives and they have like sort of like small detours and quests that you can do before you reach the main goal. So this becomes an easier goal. You don't have to think about all of this yet because now your primary focus is to focus on this one new easy goal. Again, it's to practice and build the stamina to jump rope without difficulty because once you master jumping the rope without any prior difficulties or whatsoever, you have the ability to jump longer, and in this case it will benefit you to lose more weight and build your stamina, build your strength, and all sorts of things like that, which goes into the category to be healthier and I want to lose my weight. Okay, so what if we have bigger goals? In this case, my dream career is to become a professor. What kind of professor? Teaching philosophy or theology. assuming the goal that you have, and you already have the prior reasons as to why you want to achieve that goal. Mine is kind of personal, so I'm not gonna share the reason. But if you want to become a professor, of course you have to know the steps. One of the steps is to get an education, and then preferably in most countries they will ask you to get a PhD in both. Sorry, the wind is kind of strong at the moment. So, taking this into consideration, I have to take the steps to build a foundation of my own and not just focus on the PhD, because a PhD can only do so much, but it is what is in you that can help you become a good professor. Think of a professor. You have to evaluate the traits or the idea of this person. I am very aware that not all professors are like this, but this is just my ideal version. So, one, they are knowledgeable, they can articulate themselves effectively, they are disciplined and have good time management, they can teach effectively, and they can write and read effectively. So, now taking this into consideration, we have to start small by asking myself. So, can I articulate myself effectively enough? Maybe not. I just rate that maybe a 5 out of 10. I'm not exactly good at articulating myself. Number 2, am I disciplined enough? Probably not. I procrastinate a lot. And can I read or and write effectively? Maybe a 50-50. Okay. So I know that this probably is your main focus, right? The PhD. So this can help you in the long run. It's not about avoiding the PhD. It's about building the foundation that will help you get that PhD. So, building small habits. One, can I articulate myself enough? Well, I can start to build that by recording myself and talking about a specific topic. Now, the reason why I recorded this video was also is also kind of connected to this goal, but since I had an epiphany, or as you'd like to call it, I just wanted to, get the word out and see if any other people can benefit from this realization of mine. Okay, number 2, am I disciplined? No, of course not. Okay. So, in this case, I can improve myself by managing a routine that's simple and not dreadful enough. So, that I fear that's a little too vague, so I can just give some examples like reducing your screen time, stop doom scrolling, and these sound like very simple tasks, but they take so much of your brain power if you are not used to them, like sleeping early, waking up early, and praying the rosary, even if you, let's say, you don't have the mood to pray the rosary, but God is not exactly a feeling. You just have to do it. If you're addicted to, let's say, doom scrolling, realistically, can you stop yourself from doom scrolling for a prolonged period? If no, then of course you can't just get rid of it in one day. You have to start, again, building a foundation. You have to start smaller and then smaller and then smaller. You have to grow or like build the foundation until you are eventually strong enough to resist the temptation of just doom scrolling all day. Okay, so let's put it this way. You live in the Philippines, okay? And then you are thrown into another country which culture that you are not familiar with, or people that you are not familiar with, or customs that you are not familiar with. Of course, you have to live with the fact that you have to live there now, but of course you also have to realize this, that you are not going to get over the bittersweet feelings of missing your home country in one day. You have to grow into it, be around the environment, evaluate yourself for a bit, and just look around you. You are not going to get over that in one day. And an easier example would be if, let's say, you dated somebody, right? And then you really like them. Of course, you have to live with the fact eventually that, let's say, you guys broke up. And you're not going to get over that in one day. You are going to get over that in the course of let's say minimum weeks or months or maybe even years, but you are going to get over that, but not today. If your goal consists of many other smaller goals, then I would suggest that you start building the foundation today. Because if you get stuck on building the foundation, just start doing it randomly, okay? Because you are not going to be young forever. You are going to grow old, and you are going to become brittle and old. You are not going to be young forever, and I suggest that you take the step and actually make an effort to at least achieve a quarter of your goal, if that makes sense. Just like, let's say, me in my case, right? I said that I wanted to be a professor. Now, of course, it's not going to result overnight. But so in this case, I hope you guys take something from whatever I talked about today, and you guys can, sort this out yourselves and start to build towards your goals. Remember, you can't do algebra if you can't do arithmetics. You have to build a foundation. It's not that the task is too big, but rather how you approach it. Build a foundation one at a time.